Hey guys, my name is Cidiac and welcome back to another episode of Woodville here in City Skylines 2, where the great nation of Woodville had its first factory built in the last episode, which is this huge paper factory right now, which is providing a bunch of jobs for the vicinity. Now, we do have a little bit of an issue. We kind of don't have enough workers. The little town of Derby over in the river, is it classed as a river? Yeah, I think those should be classed as a river, right, guys? Over the river right now is pretty much running smoothly. We don't really have many issues. Things are rocking and rolling. But today, we've got to solve this next issue. A bunch of our industries are complaining about the lack of labor. And if I check the unemployment, it's at 0%. Everybody technically has a job, but we have over 1,000 open positions. That's not going to go well for our business, boys. It really is not. So what we need to do is we need to provide more residential placements, which means in today's episode, we're going to be building a brand new village. Now, guys, if you are enjoying this series so far and excited to see how this is going to progress, then make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new around here so you get notified when more episodes do come out. But boy, oh boy, this is going to be an interesting one right now. Now, we've got the town of Derby over here, and we have our industrial area over here as well, which we have our big paper factory. Now, connected to all this, we're going to build a smaller little village, little area, which we can consider this maybe like the poorer side of the kind of area at the moment. I'm not going to extend it from Derby. We're going to create a brand new little section here. So we're going to fill this little area up here, and we're going to cram in as many houses and buildings as we can to provide vast amounts. But it's where the main kind of area of where the workers are going to live, where we have all this dirty industry. Is going to be quite smoggy over here, quite downbeat, and it's where all the workers are going to live. It's the darker side of town, boys. It really is the dark side of town. So as we get rocking and rolling, I just want to say right now, again, guys, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new. I want you to all let me know in the comment section down below something really, really important right now. What do I call this place? Now, we've got a couple of ideas to where we can kind of take this. We do have a couple of ideas where we can kind of take it right now. The ideas would be I could either name it after the first person that moves in, kind of like what we did with Derby, or the other alternative is, I'm trying to build this right now, there we go, 64. The other alternative is I let you guys decide in the comment section down below. What do you guys think? Hold on, was that the main? Oh, snap. Okay, right, hold on. I didn't realize that was the main road connecting over the water supply. Let me just delete that for a second because I'm going to rejig all of this and it will kind of slightly mess up how I do my road layouts. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you think would be the better alternative. Now, because these are the main roads leading in, I'm going to upgrade these to being normal roads because we're kind of leading in to an area of kind of built up sections. So we keep them as they are. I'm going to have the smaller road here kind of come out. So where we've got the highway road, we're going to have this kind of come out. Actually, what we should do, I'm going to go back to dirt roads again here. And let me just go across to about there on our 90-degree snap, just so I can run with this diagonal, which goes about there, because I'm trying to kind of mimic and fit in with what I've currently got set up. So I just want to kind of create the entries to this area, and then we have the freedom just to kind of build upon what we want to do. So I just want to run with a perimeter road to begin with, and then after that, it's all guns blazing. So let me just get this kind of bendy-wendy in. Where's the bend on this? That's a 94 by... Oh, that's almost perfect. It's almost like I designed this myself. Right, so we've got the main road coming off the highway, which you can eventually see that maybe becoming some type of a roundabout in the future. But I want to use that because this is going to be our main road to begin with. It's not much of a main road. It's nothing too crazy. It is pretty much what it is. And I'm trying to see where the best way to kind of run this would be. Actually, I feel like I've gone maybe too far sticking out. I kind of wanted it to kind of bend straight away. So let me just come off that with a little bit of straightness there. And then we do a bend going round. So 56 by 56, that will do me just fine. To about there. This is all kind of blind building right now. And then we're going to lead it into there. Now, that is the only main drag of road we've got. Where we'll have a couple of the commercial shops and stuff like that. And then we'll kind of sprawl here for some smaller houses. But this is the main drag, which we're going to try and connect this going further up. So, if I can get this just all set up correctly, then we're laughing all the way to the bank, boys. All the way to the bank. So let's say that I then ran a highway road like there. Because I don't know where that's ultimately going to go, leading that way. So I'm going to delete that to there. And then we'll create a big bend leading in. So let me bring that to there. And then we're going to snap you like that. So that's all it's going to do for now. And what I want to do is then kind of try and run this round and down. Maybe bring it a little bit further and then it kind of cuts in. And then that is our main drag of road. Is it going to be bigger than Derby? No, it's not going to be bigger than Derby. It's not going to be bigger than Derby. That's what I got to remind myself. It's Derby's rival town. The people in Derby look down upon the people of this town right now. And the people in this town wished they lived in Derby. So we're going to get this to actually connect just coming off this area here. So if I kind of snap it where it's in the center. And if I bring that to there. And I'm going to bring it into something like this here. Right, so I've got to connect you to there and then you somehow round to there. Which is a little bit more difficult than it seems. So I'm going to bring the road there instead. Right, this will all make sense in just a moment, boys. I promise you this. I promise you this. Right, I'm going to bring you to there. And then smack bang in. And then we're going to bend you. 56 by 56. Bam. To... Right, we're going to keep it like that. So that is our main drag of road, which will lead out to something else in the future. So that main bit of road here is kind of similar to this bit of road here. I'm trying not to do grids, as you can see. I'm trying not to do grids. Now, do I want this connection in here? Most likely. I'm going to keep this as it is. We're going to move this dirt road coming down as well. Now, this is kind of running to a certain extent to there, which I do have the option and could quite possibly think about snapping it all in. But I'm going to run in little areas that kind of first makes sense. So we're going to kind of do the main drags connected. So if I go there and then bam you there and lead you in. And then do I upgrade this because of the type of road it is leading to that? We'll keep that as it is. Yes. Right. And then I think pretty much after this, we just have the freedom to build what we pretty much want. So let me just fine tune this little area here so then I can get the pipe work back in. And then we're jumping straight back into play mode. So I'm going to bring this out. And then I'm going to use my little continuous bend to bend it around slightly. And then we're going to run this right down to the end there. And I think that's all I kind of need right now to then get the pipe work back in. If I just connect it to there and I press play. So it looks a little bit awkward at the moment, but it's a whole town built around the industry. Now, if you think about it, it is technically going to be bigger than Derby in a sense of landmass because it will cover the industrial area. But I don't think it will be in population size. Now, Derby obviously has 851. I don't know, you know, we could possibly get there. But a lot of stuff's going to hinder this place, especially with the pollution. Now, I'm just going to create a couple of roads that just technically stick out here, there, and everywhere to begin with right now. And then we'll do a few twists and turns. I'm going to go from there. And can I lead these all in? So bam, bam, bam. Oh, hello. You didn't snap in, did you? There we go. I'm going to bring you down. Like that. And then we kind of want to end areas. So I'm creating, which you could kind of argue is the beginning of a downtown vibe. You know what I mean? You got the little back streets, the kind of stuff. Once I get all the buildings in, it will kind of make a little bit more sense. But you can kind of see the reminiscence of where like a downtown area kind of begins. Now, I like some of the streets not to be so straight and so perfect, if that's the best way to put it. We are going to build some like little neighborhood areas, so I'm going to run down the back here. So this is the most grids I'm going to do for that area. That's all the grids you're getting out of this section. That's all you're getting, boys. Enjoy it while it lasts. And we're going to bring you up to there. I'm going to run that technically a little bit straighter. Like you. I'm going to bring you down. And then we'll cut you across. So I've got to make sure that I keep doing the little cuts and crosses. And then bring you down to there. Oh, I didn't like that. I didn't like that for 1 split second. So get you to run there so it runs straight-ish. So it kind of connects, but very awkwardly. Right, I want to keep a few spaces open. I just want to finalize this little section there because we do need a couple of service buildings that we kind of technically need to squeeze in. But other than that, boys, we're all good. We are all good. So, let me just now throw in a few little additionals down this road. And I've got to fine-tune it all as well. Don't forget, with the little bendy wendies and whatnot. But I don't want to get too comfortable with these areas. So there's still a few little roads that I've got to squeeze in, obviously, just to kind of fine-tune that all up. But this is pretty good. Now, something that we need to also tackle is education, okay? I need to implement some form of education to make the uneducated a bit more educated, to take a few higher paying jobs, to then open up the educated for the non-educated jobs, if that made any sense whatsoever. So, before we do anything, right, I want you guys to remember this. Should I name it after the first person that moves in, or do I let you guys decide in the comment section down below what we call our new little town region? Now, I'll kind of give it a blanket name to begin with. So if I just kind of run this going first with the road, and then if I just get to run with all of this, I don't know whether to incorporate the paper mill within it. I feel like I should. And then we'll go down all to here. So it's got to include all of this area here. And if I get rid of you... Yeah, do I include the paper mill? Because if so... I mean, I feel like I have to, right? It will be like that, wouldn't it? Now, it's very, very interestingly, it's called Beechwood Corner. I did not plan that. An area named after wood. I did not plan that, boys. I honestly did not plan that. But I'm going to add in a last couple of little road connections. Few little random ones. And I still got loads of stuff to do, remember. Still got loads of stuff to do. Right, let's get a few residential buildings down. We'll find the first person that's going to move into this area. And then I'll call it that, the village or the town name after that person to begin with. And then I'll see what you guys decide in the comment section down below. So we're going to go for more of these southwestern... I want to do these row houses, because these are pretty interesting to me. I do like the idea of these. So if I squeeze a couple in just there, we do a couple there, and a couple there. So we're going to throw those in to begin with. I do like the row house styling. Maybe that's more kind of destined for where we're going to kind of build some of this stuff up. But then the smaller variants is what we kind of then throw around here. So if I just drop in a couple there, you're there. And again, can't go too crazy because ultimately we'll have too big of a population if I go too crazy, right? And I don't know how much demand we're also going to see. So all I've got to do is a junction here and there's a junction there. All we've got to do right now is wait for the first vehicle to enter either one of those junctions once the buildings have been built. So keep your eagle eyes peeled right now. You might get a service vehicle that goes in there first, but that doesn't count. Okay? That does not count. So we're just waiting for our first buildings to be built. Which, how far have they got to go? Okay, they're actually 80%. There we go. One building's built. So I'm not going to base it on... Oh, what are you? Oh. Is this the first person moving in? Well, that was quick. It's, the driver is Manuel Piper. So I now get to name it Piper. What do you guys reckon? What do you guys reckon, guys? Should we keep it Piper, or would you guys prefer to have, or be able to rename it yourselves? Let me know in the comment section down below. But now we got our first person moving in then, we can now go a little bit crazier with the zoning. So we're going to go for some normal density, or the kind of the base game variants right now of the buildings. Get a few different variations now in, which will be pretty cool. There we go, there we go. And squeezes a fair few in. I want it to look pretty good. It gives us like a different kind of vibe on the go then. A few different variants, a few different variations, which wouldn't look too shabby. So we'll kind of look to do this as well. I don't know whether to kind of squeeze in commercial now. We still got a lot of open positions. We still do have a lot of open positions, so maybe it's not the right thing to do as of now. I'm going to get some more of these row houses, though. And we'll kind of complement them with the kind of commercial that we're going to have. So I'm going to fill all that up right there with residential, because I know the type of building it's going to place down. I'll do the same with the commercial. Has that gone too... That's gone too big. Right, pause. I forgot I can't do it. Right, if I do that... No. I think I've got to do... Wait, is it this I get to do it with? I'm confused. Hold on, let me do 2. Not if I can do 1. Right, I think that's what I'm kind of looking towards doing. Doing it like that. Yeah. Right, that's a bit better. You get like a high street vibe then, don't you? You get a nice little high street vibe. That's all good. That's all good. And that's the kind of the vibe I want going through the main road, leading all the way down. And what I'll do is I'll flip it to different sides. So if I do you there, and then here, we'll do it like this. So that's probably as much commercial after this bit here that I want to do. And then the rest is all this zoned housing. As I slowly choke on my words. There we go. And then we'll do it last little bit here. And then that is kind of like the high street. The main run where all the workers are going to town to grab their lunch. And all that sweet jazz, baby. Right, so that's heavily going to grow our population, but also at the same time, it's also going to heavily create more jobs with all this brand new commercial stuff. Now, what I want to do is just finalize the last little bit of some of these little bends, because I want it to not look so uniform. You know what I mean? I just don't want it to look as uniform as it currently is. So a few little twists and turns. We'll keep them as they are there. Where it just kind of ends awkwardly, if I can squeeze something in, that's fine by me. Right, do one just here. Little bend around. And I think that will do us for now then, so you get like, you know, something a little bit different on the go. So there's no need for any more commercial. There's also no need for any more industrial, because obviously we would have provided so many more jobs. So we're back to over 1,000 availability, no, down to 750, so we are working in the right direction. But that's as built up as this area is going to be. You get that kind of high street vibe now with some residential buildings, a couple of commercial buildings. It looks pretty good. So, with a town like this then, and Derby, we got Piper and Derby now set up. We want to add a few final touches then to all these residential buildings. So, let's go for some UK style housing for something a little bit different. I reckon we'll start it over here then. So I'm not too sure how big to go with all of this. If I do another one there, I get another one in, right? Yeah. We can get some 2s, some 3s. Very good, very good. I don't think I've done much of this UK housing before. So this is a little bit of a first for me. So, got to be careful, not too big at the same time. Now we got a little bit more kind of bendy-wendy roads. You get a few more different things in. Oh, beachfront properties. Let's not forget about those. Right, drop a few down there, boys. Near the waterfront. That feels like it could be good enough for me. Eastern European. Would that fit with the vibe? I'm not too sure. The terrace houses for the UK. What are these like anyway? Alright, scrap that off. Can I get... I can't do a 1. I've got to do a 2. That makes sense for a terrace house because you need one either side to make a terrace. Well, I mean, at that point, they'll be semi-detached, but you get the point. You get the gist. Oh, look at that for a house right now. Now, there's me saying that this is the poorer side of town, but some of these houses are looking awfully quite nice, aren't they? They really are. They really are. But it will be a terrible place to live. They're just making the best of a bad situation is what they're doing, okay, guys? They're just making the best of a bad situation. Right. Let's go a bit crazier right now with... Oh, not you. Some more zoning. Because we need a little bit more residential kicking in. We need to bulk up the population, and then we're going to look towards doing some services that hopefully cover both Derby and Piper a bit more. We do have some issues that are going to be creeping up at some point shortly. We've got to take care of garbage at some point. We need to do education is a big factor as well. Leisure is a big issue. We need to check what the issues are within the region and area. Just down here, because, oh, the smiley face is orange or yellow. That means people are not happy, boys. They're not happy. Well, let me go back to some southwest zoning now. I'm going to go there because that one's going to be a little bit too close to the highway. And I'm going to go for the full shebang there. And I think this will pretty much be it. Only because I'm running out of space. Last little one there. Right, lots of residents now moving into the little town of Piper. We do have a lot more space for industry, but we're going to save that for when the job market opens up a little bit more. And look at that, 2 communities across the water from one another, but have 2 very, very different outlooks on life. They really do. Now, I could extend this a little bit further down to kind of bring it a little bit more to the end. I want to see what these little terrace houses look like. Do you know what? They do look like UK terrace houses. They really do. They really do. Right, anyway. Anywho, boys. Anywho, right now. Not bad, okay? Not bad. Looking very good. So, where does that put us? I know we're still having people moving in and we're still growing the population, but where does that put us on the old job front right now? There's still 580 odd jobs available. There is a little bit of unemployment, but that's mainly down to the fact that the poorly educated jobs are all taking up. So they're educated jobs. So we need to provide new levels of opportunities and jobs for them to take. So I could drop a few factories down, but I'm going to first look at see if I can provide service jobs. Now, if we take a look at what's needed, the elementary school issue is a problem, and so is the lack of entertainment as well. So let's first focus on the education side of things. Now, we do have 150 people who are eligible for elementary, and the elementary school is quite a big one. Now, what about the different variants? The UK suburban one. We've got the UK, that's a primary school, UK suburban primary school. There's 2 variants, isn't there? It's 100 grand. Yo. What is this one there? Is that the European, what one's that? The Eastern European one, is it? I believe so, which is definitely a lot smaller. But how big is the tower block? Okay, it's not that bad. The China one's a bit too big. The normal elementary school's way too big. I do like the idea of the UK one though, but the issue with that is it's also a fairly big building. Now, I could squeeze it in somewhere like here. I mean, this is my next issue. Where do I want the school to be? I could build a school over here and build a little bit of an educational complex there, but it means the people of Derby have to travel to Piper for education. Now, I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I'm not too sure, but... And would I want the education system to be in the industrial area? I mean, you could argue the majority of people in Derby would work in Piper. So it's kind of like, start them young guys, get them used to crossing the bridge. I mean, you could look at it like that. What's the capacity of this? This is 500, where this one's 1,000. So I can kind of future-proof myself with the size of 1,000. Now, if I deleted this here, and I don't know whether to kind of make it be touching this. No, I think touching this road is probably the better idea. But you can already start to see the traffic kicking in. So is that really going to be a good idea? Let me place it down for 100 grand. And we just leveled up, which is pretty nice. The school's now in. There is extensions I can add on to it, which adds an extra 500 capacity. That adds an extra 50 capacity for extra classroom. Really? Okay. But the school's now in. Elementary school's now in, which will change... it's completely changed the elementary issue we've then got. But do I like the idea of it being here? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I do have the buses able to come this way, which I might drop another bus stop. Let's just drop it there or here. No, I'm going to drop it there and then make it stop in here, the buses. I know that means you've got to go up to go back out, but I'd rather not stop on the road that could cause traffic issues. But now I've got this set up, I think I would much rather them... Yeah, I think I would much rather them have the bus route built around here. So if I had a stop... I could do normal bus shelters now, can't I? So I'm going to have a bus stop here. We'll have a bus stop just here. And then we'll have a normal bus stop here. So I don't need that one. So I'm going to move that one to... Oh, no. Move you to there. You to there. And then you to there. But they're stopping there. Do I mind them stopping there? Honestly, I don't. I'd rather them stop there than on the road and cause traffic issues. So it means I can get rid of you. Right. Now, you could argue it might be worth having multiple bus routes at this point, having a bus station. It's still a very awkward bus route. It's a very, very awkward bus route as of yet. 16... How many buses? I've got 5 buses on this route. It's 80. I'll see what it tops out at on the usage, but I can see us needing a few more buses on this. It's not the best bus route at this point. It really isn't, but I've kind of got it set up to kind of, you know, cover all areas is the best way to put it. So how many people are in school right now? 154. So we'll keep elementary school to as it is. That's all good for me. It's all good for me. People will obviously come to and from work. It's going to be a busy road, this, which we could always upgrade it in the future. Stick some roundabouts on. It's not a big issue, but as long as you get public transport correct as well, they'll rather use that than drive. Now, other issues we do have is the lack of entertainment. So parks and recreation, we don't really have any, do we? No, we actually don't. So I'm going to build some of this stuff now then. I don't have it all available, but we've got a tiny city park, which I'll start with. Or should I go for some smaller stuff, like a mini park? Let me do like these smaller things first. These little mini parks might be a good little thing to kind of implement, especially on little areas where, you know, you've got one tile space available. You got these little walkways that we can kind of link them up to kind of go into as well. And let me just see what I can do with all of this before I kind of play around with the bigger variants. So that covers, these little mini parks are pretty good. What about the urban concrete one? Next to the school. That seems pretty good, doesn't it? Parquet, a small playground, which is a 4 tile. Right, we'll play with the idea of a 4 tile just here. That gives us a lot of entertainment boosting value in that vicinity. And we've got tiny parks again. I like the little mini parks. The mini parks are perfect. Oh, actually, if I can get a small playground in, I will. So that sorts you out there. One just there. The little mini park again. Back for its revenge. So it's mainly on the places where they live is where we've got the leisure facilities. And that now completely gets rid of that issue. And now we have an unreliable internet service. Oh, we've got a fire. We've got a fire breaking out. So yeah, this is the other thing I need to take care of is the health care is okay. Death care, it's all the way over there. I know it's all the way over here and I've got to drive with the health care. But as of right now, it's not cost effective to build one over here. Now, fire is all the way over there, but that could be an issue. So maybe it makes sense to build a fire depot or firehouse in this vicinity because of the industrial areas. So that's the USA Southwest one, which is you, right? So if I was to build one here, because I could build it in this area, this vicinity here where we've got the school. So another little fire depot there. What about policing in this area? If I went for the Southwest one, that's way too big. The UK one. No. Nah. What is this one here? Oh, the small police station. That's perfect. The small police station, firehouse, the fire station, police station, all here. Okay, that makes perfect sense. That does provide a lot more, I mean, job opportunities, but also more coverage. So we have a form of education, right? We have a form of education. We just don't have any higher education, nor do we have any garbage facilities. I'm still a bit wary about doing that stuff yet. I am still a little bit wary about doing that stuff. So that's okay. That's okay, boys. So, not too bad. Now, we did get rid of a lot of trees here, so I don't know whether it's kind of ideal to maybe place some trees back down. I know we're using the oak trees, and I could, if I go for the adult size, I don't want to do the small size. Placing it around the school. It's kind of, it's like a natural sound barrier as well. Let me go for like a multitude of them. So I want to get the trees back in that we once deleted. Or that would have been deleted from the zoning and the building and all that jazz. And would the same thing over here make sense? We'll kind of place down a couple of trees. Wherever I can do it. But yeah, that's a lot better. I would like some trees down this little strip here, but I don't think, unless I use Anarchy, I believe. Unless I used Anarchy. Could I draw a straight line of trees? Again, you got to make it feel like it's in the region of Woodville, boys. There's wood everywhere. There's wood everywhere. The untapped resource. Right, so we're technically still losing money now. I did notice that we were making money earlier, but now I put down more service buildings. We're definitely losing more money. So we've got millions in the bank, so I'm not particularly worried too much just yet. Unemployment's 3%. We do have 600 jobs still available, which is really good to see. I don't know if I have the ability to place down any more warehouses. Let me see if any of them will build. We do have a couple of availabilities here. That might work. I'll place down some zoning for them, so if they do become available, they can build in this vicinity. So that'll provide a few more jobs, a few more exports, which will be pretty handy for us. And we're rocking and rolling. Right. Very good. So, the big question is, public transport. How is that now looking? 19%. Now, don't judge it off this, because it is a bit funky in places. It is a bit funky. I could increase the rates. Is there a stop there? Wait, is there a stop here? Oh, no, that was a waypoint. Okay, the waypoint no longer needs to be there. It no longer needs to be there. It is quite a long route, isn't it? So I think we might add a few more buses to this. I'll assign double the amount of buses. I'm going to charge $12 a ticket right now. Just so we can have more frequency and people get into where they need to get to. Like I said, it is quite a long run. So we have to kind of give them a little bit of time. I still don't know if it's the best option for what I've kind of got set up, but we'll just kind of see. Now, traffic doesn't seem to be a major issue as of yet, but I can see it being an issue maybe in the future. But there's always ways in which we can kind of improve this kind of stuff, so there's no stress. There is honestly no stress. But the more I look at this, the more I want this to kind of bend round and come down to here. So I think what I'm going to do, get rid of that zone in there. And I'm going to squeeze in some commercial instead. just to kind of bulk up and kind of, from a bird's eye point of view, lead it down a little bit more. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do, but I've gone and done it anyway. I need to replace them with some more houses, don't I? Yeah. So we'll throw you in there. Did that even, oh no, that backs onto that road, so it wouldn't fit there anyway. Can maybe do a little bit of a house here. A little one just there. But that's as much as you're getting out of it. That is as much as you're getting out of this simple little region. Now, how is the pollution looking already? So air pollution. Do you know what? They might be okay because it's going to come down this way and won't kind of blow over. So that they might get away with it. They actually might get away with it, which is even wilder to even think of. Holy moly. That's worked out pretty well. Weirdly, that's worked out pretty well. Right, boys, we are going to end it here. So the placeholder name for this town is Piper. We got the town of Derby, the little village town, whatever you want to call it, of Piper, which actually, how many people live here? So nearly 600, where in Derby it's 800. So Derby is still the biggest village town at the moment. We still have a few little issues. We're waiting for hearses and stuff like that. That is going to be an issue because we have a little church over there which can only process what it can process. It's very, very simple, boys. It's very simple right now. Everyone seems to be happy except for the fact that we don't have an reliable internet service at the minute, but we'll have to kind of get that as we make a little bit more money. But let me know, should we keep it to Piper, or would you guys prefer to be able to rename it yourselves in the next episode? Let me know, boys, but this little town right now is looking pretty damn jazzy, if you ask me. Pretty damn jazzy. I feel like it's worked out pretty well. So, I can see issues coming along with the road network at some point in the future, but we will have to keep our eyes peeled on that, and once we get more roads connected up here, there, and everywhere, we should see things working out in our favour. Until next time, I'll see you all soon, so goodbye.